Hi everyone, my name is Mary Beth. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to do a reading on how to get into union. The way I understand it is you want to get to a really high vibration to get into union. I always like to use my little Hawkins scale to kind of measure and calibrate here. I don't know if you could see that. But anyway, that's how I calibrate where we're at, and we want to get to union, which calibrates in my own estimation at 1500. And the way to get into union, because we are part of the twin flame journey, so union is between the divine masculine and divine feminine. We want union. And so I tried to figure out what that means, and what I've come up with, and what my spirit is telling me is that, and I'm sure we have more than this, but this is what I've been, this is the wisdom I've been brought so far, and that is we have to balance out our physical body, our emotional body, our mental body, and our spiritual body, and we need to honor all four bodies and what that means. And when we start to honor all four of our bodies, then what's going to happen is we are going to become more balanced, and we're going to become more joyful, and we're going to be more at peace because we're honoring all four bodies. We're not favoring one over the other, which is how most people live, which makes sense because we're not even aware of that we have these bodies. So again, we have the physical body, we have the emotional body, we have the mental body, and we have the spiritual body. The way I understand it is the physical body and the mental body are divine masculine, and the emotional body and the spiritual body are divine feminine. So the first thing I'm going to ask is, what do they value? Just to kind of give you an idea, I have my value cards here. We're going to find out. We'll start with the physical body value at this time. What does your physical body need from you? What does your physical body value, Spirit? So we're just going to pull one card when it comes to the physical body. What does the physical body need right now? I kind of wanted a clean. Okay, there we go. Okay. What does the physical body? Come on. Interesting. So the physical body wants to help or do work for the benefit of others. That's very interesting. So we got service. So the physical body wants to be of service. Okay, so it looks like rain or shine. Rain or shine. The physical body values service at this time, servicing others. So, acting out your purpose, whatever that means to you. So, do you have a purpose? Do you have some sort of plan to help people in some way? Well, the physical body is ready to take action on that, whatever that is. Okay, so that's beautiful. So, we're going to put that here for service. Now, let's look at the emotional body. What does your emotion value at this time? This is a really big deck. Sorry about that. One card, one more shuffle. What does the emotional body value at this time, Spirit? One card. Oh, romance. Oh, to have feelings and rituals associated with love or romantic ideals. Oh, so this is what your emotional body values right now. Oh, that's beautiful. So romance, so these loving feelings, that's what your emotional body values right now. Right now. So this has to do with anything has to do with love, right? Or some sort of ritual. So what they're telling me is you have to do this for yourself first before it, because as you can see, the physical body didn't say romance. The physical body wants to do service, but the emotional body wants to have those feelings. So if there's nobody, if you do have a physical person that you are dating or that you're married to, they want Your emotional body wants to experience that romance, that loving feeling. What's that song? Love and feeling. We lost that love and feel. Yeah, that song. Anyway, so to have feelings and rituals associated with love or romantic ideals. So if you could come up with a ritual that really like romance yourself, like you have to do it first within you before I think the physical body will take it on. Okay, because then you want to physically bring that into fruition. So what can you do emotionally to bring in this romance? So could you light some candles for yourself? Can you sit by a roaring fire and enjoy your cup of cappuccino? Like, I don't know, like have a glass of wine. I don't know. Just have a beautiful dinner with yourself. Like just bring in that emotional sense of romance, that feeling of self-love. Having real love for yourself is what they're telling me. Okay, so that is maybe I should do it this way. So this is your physical body, and that's your emotional body. Okay, so now let's look at the mental body. What does the mental body um, value at this time? And I'll probably do this monthly because it does change, because I do this for myself, and it does change monthly on what, because I'm trying to honor all of my bodies to bring me more joy, and this deck is just beautiful. Okay, so let's one card for the mental body. What does your mental body value at this time? Knowledge, to acquire and contribute information and skills through experience or education. So this is what your mental body absolutely wants to embody right now. Okay, so what this could be is, if you're taking on new trainings, new classes, if you're educating yourself in some way, it could be even teaching other people's skills, because that even embodies more knowledge when you're because it's one thing to learn it, and then to teach it, boy, does that really embody it. It's so funny that, there's actually things written on the back of these cards that I could always talk about. It says, list all the ways in which you actively absorb knowledge in your daily activities. Consider the ways you could support the consumption of more knowledge. Anyways, a whole list of stuff in the back here. Okay. Yeah, so to acquire and then contribute your information and your skills. Oh, I love that. So that's what your mental body is valuing at this time. All right, let's ask your spiritual body. What is your spiritual body? What does your spiritual body value at this time? One card, spirit. What is your spiritual divine feminine value? Diversity, to honor and appreciate different types of people and ideas. So what this means is, that this isn't just about race or religion. I mean, it could be, and definitely is, but diversity, what they're telling me is all types of people. Okay, it doesn't mean something that we learn in school where, okay, you need to accept people for, like, what religions they're in, what color skin they have, for if they're male or female. It's more, what they're telling, this is more about everyone's opinion, even those opinions that really make you mad. Okay, so let's just say politically, there are people who have very different political views than you. It's about that. Spirit wants you to, to honor and appreciate that which even triggers us, which is so hard, but that's the work, right? That's what the Spirit's saying. That work of appreciating all point of views. Okay, so anything that you may find to be kind of in the box, or you may say to yourself, oh, that's so old fashioned to think that way. Or if you think, oh my God, this person hunts animals, or oh my God, this person carries guns, or whatever it is, they're asking you to honor and appreciate all the different types of people and ideas. And what they're telling me is ask questions. Ask questions. You never know. And I don't know if you found this, but what I found, if I take too much of a stance against something, what life will do is they'll give me an opportunity, which I hate. They'll give me an opportunity to understand that point of view in which I experience something. Where I physically have to experience. And now my point of view shifts, and now I understand what that person was saying. So I try not to disagree, or I try not to have like an opposite of opinion, because I know it's coming, right? I know that life will say, "Oh, well, you're not understanding that point of view. Here, let me show you." And so you understand why they have that point of view, what their lens is all about. If you can't listen and appreciate it, then we will have you physically experience it, and that's hard, because then you're like, "Oh, now I get it." So that's what this means. So spirit, so this is hard. So, but it's just one day at a time. Another thing is they're saying is it's also with your own diversity, meaning that there are parts of you that you don't like. There are parts of you that you don't want to hear. And they're telling me to pull the shadow bag right now. And they're asking you to honor that part of yourself. Okay, so here it is. Here's my shadow bag. And let's pick up. Okay, so let's do this. So they're saying you need to honor all parts of yourself. So let's see. So something needs to come out. There we go. Okay, there's a part of you that's cowardly. Okay, and you may not want to accept that part of you. It could be in a certain area of life. There's an area in life that you might be cowardly. Maybe you're afraid of snakes. I don't know. Maybe you're afraid to get into a relationship, or maybe you're afraid to put your work out there, or whatever it is, whatever you would consider cowardly. All of us has this piece of us that is cowardly, and that we just feel like, oh, heck no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not getting up on stage. I'm not doing that, right? Or whatever it is. And so they're saying is that's okay. Accept that part of you. Honor that part of you that's cowardly. There's a reason why you're cowardly in that area of life. Maybe something happened to you when you were a child. Maybe something happened to you when you were in a past life. Maybe it's a soul contract. Maybe in this soul contract, it was said that you need to be cowardly in this part of your life. But this part of you needs to be honored, not run away from, not made fun of, not like, oh, I suck. Right? That's what we do, right? We always say, oh, yeah, I suck. I don't, I'm such a coward, or I'm such a this, or I'm such a that. And so what spirit is asking you to do is to really honor those parts of you that you do not care to know. Okay, what else? Let's do another one. Let's do another. Okay, oof. Here's another one. Pitiful. There's a part of you that's pitiful, or it's like you want to have, or you have pity on yourself, and you try not to, right? You're just like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not having pity on myself, and I'm not pitying others. Well, the pity has a place, and this part of you wants to be honored. This part of you, it has helped you. Pity has helped you. It's gotten you to a higher. So the way they're wanting me to explain this to you is through the Hawkins scale, because you really can't get much lower than shame. But when you start to have pity on yourself, you start to get a little bit higher. Okay? And then let's say you get to anger. Man, that's a big jump. If you're angry, that's a way bigger jump than if you had shame. Now, of course, shame also wants to be honored, because shame is here for a reason. We all feel shame over something, every single one of us, because it helps us dive deep. It helps us to learn. This is where they want me to remind everyone that this is where the learning takes place. The learning takes place, and then the rewards up here. Here's the learning, and here's the reward. The learning has to be also honored, okay? And then if you're pitying yourself, then you know what? It's higher than shame. You've moved up in vibration. So it's actually helping you move up the scale. We also got walking away. So there are times when you feel like you have to walk away. You gotta walk away from something, and then you might look back and say, oh, that was, really, cowardly of me, or oh, that was really pitiful that I did that, right? And you start talking bad about yourself because we're programmed, because we had parents, or we had teachers, we had friends, we had whoever, relatives, that would say stuff to us. And I think I will do a reading on blind spots, because we all have blind spots. All of us. We all think it's other people, but when it triggers us, it's ours. And so I'll do a reading on that to see what our blind spots are. I'll do that in another reading. But anyway, so walking away, honor that part of you that has walked away. Even if you feel like, oh, maybe that wasn't the right thing to do. But you know what? There's a part of you that needed to walk away. There was a lesson in it. There's always a lesson in everything. That's where all of your lessons are. And your soul contract, even though you might say, with these lessons, I don't want to learn these lessons. Why can't I just know it? Well, guess what? Your soul contract said you came here to learn these lessons. So you don't get to like not learn them. The soul's going to make you come back if you don't learn the lessons. And if you try to get around it, if you try to spiritually bypass it, it's not going to work. Then they're just going to give you another way to learn the lesson, because it's in the soul contract. The soul contract technically needs to be, I guess there are some ways that you can, I guess, I don't know. There are ways. I think when you get up to a certain vibration, I think you will get over your soul contract. In my personal thoughts and opinions, otherwise, you need to follow the soul contract. That's what, in a way, when you're not all that high in vibration in your learning, to me, that is the divine timing, because you're in the soul contract. You gotta wait for the soul contract to, you know, have its have it played out. Now, when you rise in vibration, in my personal thoughts and opinions, you don't have to be in that soul contract. You're manifesting at a higher level, and you're no longer having to do the soul contract. But we're working on it, right? It takes time. But anyway, so that is what the soul values, and that is how you are embodying balance. So this is how to honor yourself. So again, just to kind of go over it, to honor your physical body, be of service, and whatever that is that you're helping people, and whatever that is, probably your job, it's probably your career. I imagine that whatever your career you're in, make it about the service. Or I don't know, maybe you have a YouTube channel, whatever it is. It could be a hobby. And then again, the emotional body really wants to experience and really values romance, that love, that loving feeling. Get back that love and feeling, that loving feeling has to come back. So feel it. Feel that love and feeling. What that's probably going to do is it's probably going to manifest in your physical body at some point. Yeah, what's that song? We lost that. So there's no, seriously, they're telling me this. They're saying we lost that loving feeling. That is what the emotional body's telling me. You lost that loving feeling with your divine feminine. Yeah, that's what they're telling me. You lost that loving feeling. You need that loving feeling back with your divine feminine. Because your divine masculine is your conscious mind and your divine feminine is your subconscious mind. Having that loving feeling for that part of yourself, obviously it's you. Bring back that love and feeling back to you. Bring it back. And part of that is going to be doing shadow work. Part of that is loving you deeply, deeply in the shadows. Loving, loving, loving you. Okay. And then, of course, knowledge. Okay, honor that part of you that wants to gain more knowledge. It's really learning those new skills. You might have thought, who cares about this? But then you're like, you know what? It's a new skill. And you know what? My mental body wants to learn new skills right now. And maybe it's of service. Maybe these new skills are going to help me be of service to people. Or maybe this new knowledge will help me to feel that loving feeling towards me. But it's honoring. You're really honoring. I have to say, when I do my inner work, I'm constantly, because I do talk to my soul in such a way where she embodies me. And she's always, I had no idea why, but I always kept bowing. And I had no idea why I kept bowing. I was constantly bowing. And I'd be like, I don't know what that means. And then finally, after I would say, gosh, it took me, oh my goodness, 2021, I think it took me 5 years to figure out that my divine feminine was honoring me. I know. She was honoring me because I was doing all this work and I had no idea I was being honored. It finally hit my brain. And then, of course, the diversity, honoring diversity, right? That's hard to do because there's so much that really means what triggers you. What really triggers you, try to honor that part of you that really triggers you. That part about yourself, that part about others, okay? That part that you want to run away from. Why do you want to run away from it? Because your parents ran away from it. Because your friends ran away from it. Because you were abandoned for feeling that way. You were abandoned over and over. Even God abandoned you, right? What about the cross? What about, and I call it the shadow light, but what about religion? They abandoned you for being sinful. And so Spirit is saying to actually honor and appreciate those parts of you, those parts of you that everyone ran away from you on. Like, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself to honor yourself. Okay? And so that is oneness. That's what's going to get you to union. That's union. If you can get that, no, hardly anyone's doing that. I don't know. I don't personally know anyone who's doing that. But if you can do that, you are here. You are in union. You're in union once you're able to, and of course it changes, right? So that for now, this is what union is. This will never be just this for the rest of your life. I will I do this for myself all the time, so I will start doing this for others as well. What I also wanted to see, though, you know what? Maybe I'll do another channel on balance. Yeah. Well, we'll leave this here, and I will do another video on how to balance our divine masculine, divine feminine. So this is basically how to be in union with all four bodies: your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and your spiritual body. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. If you'd like to work with me, please see in the description below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.